Okay, let's talk a little bit about presets and copying an edit onto another one. If you've done an edit that you particularly like and you want to save it for another image it might suit, that's what we'll go through today. So I've made a few edits to this image already, and I want to just attribute that to the image next to it. Okay, so if you're working along your kind of film strip of images and you're going on to the next one, directly after making all those adjustments, you could just press previous and it will make those changes automatically. Okay. If you want to now save that to be able to add it to an old image or images in the future, then we need to make a preset out of it. So if we go into the presets panel, you have the little plus symbol. If you click this, you can create a preset. Title the preset something that makes sense to you. If I just call this Nature 1, we want to make sure everything's checked. You can be very selective, so if you only want to take the white balance corrections across that you've done, you could uncheck all and just check white balance or take that off. Or if you've done a certain exposure, if you've done a whole shoot with one minor imperfection that's corrected with just exposure, you could either batch edit it or you could make it here like this and just turn everything off and put exposure on. But if you check everything, that means it will copy everything that you've changed onto the next image. Okay, this will automatically go into user presets down the bottom. If you want to make your own group, so where this is already split into groups of color, creative, black and white, you can make your own group as well just by going into group and new group. Okay, but for the moment we'll leave it on just a preset and it'll go into user and then click create. Then you'll see you have user presets. We have Nature 1. So if I could click onto another image and press Nature 1, it is exactly the same thing. Okay, so if you get a really good workflow going and you've got a particular set of edits that you're always doing, you can very quickly navigate to those and copy them across. So for our projects, for example, if you're doing all portraits and you've got certain edits that work great, then you can set them as your presets. Okay, it should speed up the editing process quite a bit. Okay, so I'll just go on to showing you how to import presets. A lot of places will give you, will charge you for presets. You can find some initial ones for free. Some people on YouTube will tell you their presets and things like that. So I found a couple for us to try, and I'll show you how to upload them onto your Lightroom. Okay, so let's install some presets. I found a website that has some free ones, so free lightroompresets.co. You can scroll through, see which ones you like. I've picked Sucker Punch and Rizzle Drizzle. So just click on it. I'll give you some examples of it being used. And then just at the bottom of this website, free download. Okay. I have put this onto the desktop. So I've got a zip file from this website initially. So just double click that, it'll open up. And it gives you all of the different variations of presets for whichever version of Lightroom you're using. So I'm using Classic. I know a few of you are as well. Some of you might have older versions. There's even ones for the mobile app as well. So just choose the appropriate one. You'll see in Lightroom it tells you what version you're running at the top left. Just up here. So I'm just going to set that aside for a second. Might be worth making a folder on the desktop of Lightroom presets so you can just drag the one you need in. So classics are XMP files, Lightroom CC, the app itself is XMP, and older versions of Lightroom are the IR templates. So put that to the side for a second once you've downloaded some, and we're going to go back to Lightroom. I'm going to go up to Lightroom at the top and hit Preferences. And I'm going to go into Show Lightroom Develop Presets. So then in Settings, I've got the user presets here. Okay, all you need to do is drag the ones that you want into this folder. So if I go into Sucker Punch, grab the one for my version of Lightroom and drop it in, move it into user presets. I'm going to close that down for a second, close that down, and I'm going to go back to Lightroom. Okay, so currently it's not there. You're going to more than likely need to restart Lightroom. So I'm just going to quit Lightroom, open it back up again, and under presets, there's our new one, Sucker Punch. Okay, that's a good starting point for you to be able to move from. I'm not saying this has worked wonderfully on my image, so I'll probably choose a different one, but that's the process.